The mistake that many fall into in this point of dealing and reconciling with this truth is not reflecting, okay? Not thinking that God himself is under no obligation to save anyone. Okay? God is not obliged to give salvation to save anyone. Let that sink in for a minute, okay? I know we think we think we're all wonderful, and and none of us deserve hell. Okay, you know, I think we all think that, and that's a normal thought. The idea of hell is not a pleasant doctrine. It's not. I mean, it's not pleasant. Okay, it's a difficult doctrine if we really dwell on it. If we dwell on the truth that there's no salvation outside the Catholic Church, believing the Catholic faith and being united to his church, think about all the people you know that don't hold the Catholic religion. Okay? Think about it. There are many people I know, many, that don't hold the true faith. And not many that I know in my everyday walk, in my life, my work, whatever. There's not many that I know, and so we have to just reflect on the fact that I'm just thankful that God did choose to send our Lord Jesus Christ to this world to save sinners. Because he didn't have to. He wasn't required. He didn't have to. He was under no obligation to. He wasn't obliged. Our Lord says in John 3:16 that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. It doesn't say that God was so obliged and bound that he was required to save us and that he owed salvation to us. No, it says that he loved us, that he did it. So he did it out of his love and out of his immense charity to provide salvation for us through our Lord Jesus Christ. He wasn't obliged. So he says that's the one thing people don't really reflect on. Don't reflect on the fact that salvation isn't owed to us at all. So if God in his charity chose this means by which to save sinners, by sending our Lord Jesus Christ to die on the cross, and that in order to obtain that salvation, in order to enter into that salvation, we must believe in his Son Jesus Christ, that we must embrace what his Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, taught, then, God's will be done. We reflect that that's what he chose to do. And he has that right to do that. He has the right to choose as he wills. And we just got to reflect on that and think, God is awesome. So first and foremost, we have to understand that this came from God himself, and we have no reason to tell him that that's uncharitable. Because it's not uncharitable. 2, we should reflect, Bishop Hay says, on the fact that he is not obliged to save any of us. Bishop Hay mentions that the angels sinned, and God pursued them with strict justice against the angels that sinned, provided no means by which to save them, damned them. And he could have rightly done the same thing for the human race. He could have let us all, he could have gave us all up. but for his own will and purpose and love, he chose to save us. And by that, we should be very grateful. Basically, that's what Bishop Hayes says. It says, if therefore he is pleased to offer salvation to mankind through the merits of Jesus Christ, this is all the effect of his infinite goodness and mercy. Right? He says he is the perfect master of his own gifts. He certainly is at full liberty to require what conditions he pleases for bestowing those gifts. And who are we to find fault in that? He says. Who are we to find fault or say it's uncharitable? I mean, it's something to reflect on.